Hi, Amy. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you. Yourself?
Good, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
All right. All right. If it breaks up or anything, just let me know during the assessment task and yeah, we'll figure out what's happening.
Yep.
So today we'll do your assessment task. Just at the start, do I have your permission to record this session?
Yep.
Yeah, and it will be posted on YouTube for my trainer and assessor to look at. So she can watch it and provide feedback, and that's okay.
Yep.
Great. I'll go through some work health and safety or OH&S. We're at different locations. So I'm not sure what's around you, but just make sure it's, free of cords and anything on the floor, just make sure it's free, or if you have to get up, that you're mindful of that. If you need to, go to the toilet or get a drink, that's fine. Just let me know. For any other emergencies that could happen in the home, could be, a fire. So if one of us have to leave the Zoom call, of course, that's fine. And you will process, or I will, with your evacuation plan that you would have at home. And so today we'll go through your mock assessments tasks and we'll make sure that they're all there. And we will do your presentation, or you will present to me your research presentation that you have there. So we will go through that.
Yep.
And then we will, just have a closing meeting and we'll just discuss what happens next. Everything all the feedback and time I've given you is based on the Bright Shores training policies and procedures. And I'm just going to check, make sure I have everything. Of course, they're all mock assessment tasks. So if your satisfactory or non-satisfactory result of assessment task or your competency of the unit is, of course, not a real unit of competency, that will be issued because it's all mock. And I think, let me just check my list. Great. So we'll just start then with opening up. I will share my screen. We'll open up the student assessment booklet that you have filled out, and we will just check, and I will check that we have everything. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, where are we? Let's go right to the top. Let's check it out. Okay, so can you see this, Amy?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So this is your student assessment booklet for reflect on and improve own professional practice. And let's go through. So you had 4 assessment tasks, and the research project task 2 is what you will be doing today. Okay, so that's all been signed. That's great. So let's go down. Okay, you've already provided your feedback for assessment task 1. So we know we have all of that there. And then we have assessment task 2 is what you'll be doing today. Oh, you've got it all there too, great. Okay, and then assessment task 3, you just submitted that. Let's have a look. You have the parent feedback forms and approvals. They've all been signed. Great. And great, that's been signed and filled out, excuse me. Okay. And we did speak about assessment task for we haven't quite completed that and you have an extension for 1 week to complete that. So in a week's time, I don't have my phone much on the date. We'll email you and confirm. We have, already emailed the date. We'll check that. So that is fine, Amy, to sorry, got something in my throat. Let me have a cool for that.
Yeah.
Had some biscuits earlier and I think they're like stuck in my throat. So we've discussed your extension for 1 week. And we will just email that through to me. You don't need to email the whole student assessment booklet, just this email task is fine.
Yep.
On its own. And that's due to your lockdown and homeschooling your children and less shifts at work. It's been a bit hectic to get some time on your own. So that is fine. I understand that. Great. So let's see. Next, we will now continue on with your assessment task. So that's up the top. Your assessment task 2. Great. So this is your research presentation project. And you've probably already read the task summary as it's all completed. And so, when you feel ready, you can, begin.
Okay, what are the main points of this development area? There are 3 main points for this topic of research: partnerships with families. The first point is how the pandemic has affected our policies and procedures for drop-off and pick-up times and orientation for new families in childcare. The second point is about how the result of the above change in policies and procedures have affected our partnership with families. And the third and final point is how to create meaningful partnerships with families during the pandemic. What are the implications of this topic to early childhood education industry? The main implications of creating partnerships with families is that the current pandemic that started last year has affected drop-off and pick-up procedures, and the families are not allowed into the children's room. A designated educator collects the child from their family in the foyer and they are taken to their room. The families are not seeing or talking to their children's educators, and so this has implications on partnerships with families, as you cannot create a partnership with a family when the educators in the children's room cannot see them. The older families that have been in the service since before 2019, this has been easier to maintain that partnership as it has already been established, but still difficult to continue as life and a child grows and changes so much within a year. This is particularly hard for new families where there has been little contact between educators and families, and this definitely implicates the settling in period for the child, and orientations are shortened and fewer, so there are implications that a child will take longer to feel safe and secure in the environment that is so strange to them. Another implication for partnerships with families is that children's needs and interests from home are often missed, and this causes inconsistencies between the childcare setting and home, as there's lack of communication between families and educators. For example, if a child shows signs of toilet training, but a parent does not know how to begin and would like advice from the educators or discuss the process of the child throughout their daily interactions between educators and families. These daily interactions and discussions is what builds or creates a partnership with families. explain any political and or social issues relating to this emerging topic. One political issue is that this is now a legal requirement due to restrictions that we need to follow, which is difficult as it also goes against the national quality standards. But we need to follow these ever-changing rules and adapt to find different ways to create or maintain a partnership with families. The social issue that surrounds this topic of creating relationships with families is that families might feel isolated, unsupported, and even lonely. How do you think this issue will affect your experience as a worker in the childhood education industry? I think that this issue will affect my experience as a worker in the early childhood education industry, as I think of other creative ways that I can create and maintain partnerships with families. This makes it challenging to foster a child's learning needs and interests, especially if they are new to the service right now, and it has become more emails and phone calls to families. I don't think that issues will affect me long term. It is not forever. There will be a time again when families will be able to come back into the room and we can create those partnerships with families again. How will you continue to keep up to date with developments in this topic? I will continue to keep up to date with developments on families being able to come into the room and continuing the partnership with families by sending out feedback forms on the various forms of communication we have at the moment and new ideas that families might have to communicate to maintain that partnership. Amelia, the director, also keeps everybody up to date with the latest procedures for drop-off and pick-up times. I could also reach out to other childcare centres through Facebook groups and see how they continue to have a partnership with families. Where did you obtain the information for this research? Provide a list of sources you used. The information that I obtained for this research is from a COVID drop-off and pick-up procedure we have in place. This is placed in the staff room and in the policy section in the office. The procedures are based on the current restrictions that are written on the coronavirus website. The centre is also advised by the Department of Education for what procedures they need to have in place. And that's it.
Great. Thank you, Amy.
That's all right.
Very detailed. So you did very well. So that's assessment task to complete. And I will mark that and I'll get the results back to you. Policies within 4 weeks, but I do hope to get it back to you sooner. So with the assessment task 4 that's due in a week also, I will hope to get the result for your unit of competency, whether you're competent or not yet competent, to you within, again, 4 weeks. And great. So did you have, I mean, you're complete now, but there are any questions or anything?
No.
Anything you'd like to say? No?
No.
Okay. So just, I'll have a candidate feedback form that I will email to you. And if you could fill that out for me, yeah, that'll be great. Again, be honest with the feedback, because it will really help me as a trainer and assessor. And I will also email Amelia, because it's difficult to kind of at the moment to get the candidates and Amelia together at the same time. It's a bit, things are a bit busy and crazy at the moment. So I'll email her and let her know about this assessment, our session today. And I'm just checking. So going forward for you, with your studies, if, and training, for any further questions, or just go, and ask your room leader, and you have Amelia and the director and Sam, I think your educational leader also. So they're all there to support you. If you have any questions or queries about assessment task for, or about any other assessments or the results, also just, email myself. You do have a right to, challenge an assessment task or the result I've given you. And I will just go through and make sure that we have covered everything. Great. So, wow, I think that's all for today, or hopefully for this, unit. And you'll be hearing with me about your results. I still have to send through your satisfactory or not satisfactory on your assessment task and your final mark. So, so thank you, Amy, for participating in this with me. Excuse me. Great. All right. Well, have a great day.
Yeah,
and
you too.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch through email until those results and mark is finalized.
Yep, great.
Thank you.